Thanks.
Kelsey to the Athletic. JB, just in general, what stood out tonight, especially defensively and just in this win?
I thought we did a great job of executing a game plan. Everything that we tried to get done, I thought we really got it done tonight. I thought we focused on it, tried to make it as difficult on them as we could, frustrate them with our effort, and I thought we were able to accomplish that tonight.
How have you seen Evan take on the challenge of some bigger centers, especially with Jared out, but just especially in the last year, just the way that he's handled that this year so far?
It's growth for sure. I think if you think back to last year, what he did when he played at that spot, I think he was really good then. I think he's a really good basketball player, no matter what position you put him at. But he's a competitor. And I think sometimes, his calm demeanor can fool us. But I don't know anybody who has the fire that burns, hotter than his when it comes to competition. And he's not afraid. He's willing to take any challenge that we put in front of him. Embiid is, MVP caliber, one of the best centers in the game. And Evan went out and accepted the challenge.
And with all that Karis has gone through this for this quarter of the season, changing roles and the injury and everything, what did you see specifically tonight and just kind of the comfortability factor, especially for him?
The ball went in the basket, and I think that gave him confidence. But again, I've been watching him work, and you see, the energy he puts into it. We know what he's capable of, right? And then it's on us to put him in positions to be successful. It's just on his teammates to get him the ball in those positions, get him as comfortable as we can, and he's capable of doing these things.
Spencer Davies, basketballnews.com. How much of the game plan that you were just talking about had to do with rebound and push? I feel like you guys were really beating them down the floor tonight a lot.
We know how good they are defensively. We know how hard it is to score, when you allow Embiid to set himself in the paint. So we were trying our best to get down the floor before he was there. And that gives us the thrust, it gives us the force that we need. Because they will make it extremely difficult if this becomes, a half-court basketball game because they are that good offensively. So we were just trying to take advantage where we saw one.
The same thing that Kelsey asked about Karis. Kind of want to ask you about Isaac, because it seems like when those guys see the ball go in, easy buckets, down transition, whatever, it gets them going in a good place offensively. So what did you see from him on that end of the floor? And his effort tonight was tremendous. So.
Yeah, same thing. It's we have very good basketball players and extremely talented guys. All of them at some point in time are going to hit a bump in the road. It's whether or not the team and coaching staff and front office continue to show belief in guys, and we believe in our guys. And through their ups and downs, we're going to give them opportunity as long as they continue to work and do other things that can impact the game. And I think again at some point in time it turns for all of our guys because they work extremely hard at it.
Danny Cunningham, ESPN Cleveland. JB, you've mentioned before about Evan in practice, like how much he really has in his arsenal that we don't always get to see in the games. And then you see these stretches like tonight where he just kind of took over the game for a little bit. As a coach, how exciting is it to see those things translate to the game action?
That's, it's what coaching is, right? It's teaching in order to see people grow and improve and get better. The sky's the limit for Evan. I think we've said that multiple times, but there's not a lot on the floor that he is not capable of. And, the more and more you watch him, and I think we've seen it, like he's been so much more assertive. And he's been hunting opportunities. And, like when you allow his skill set with the hunter's mentality, he's going to be hard to deal with.
What did you think of Mobley in the starting lineup tonight?
I thought it was awesome, to be honest with you. He was a big part of what our game plan was defensively. And I think he went out there and he executed it to a T and was a huge part of the reason why we were able to play the defense that we did tonight.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, JB.
What's up, Chris?
What does it take to neutralize a player like Joel Embiid the way that you guys did tonight?
5 guys, and then 5 more coming off the bench. Guys that are just committed to, giving everything that they have and sacrificing, their man maybe scoring a couple times because we know we've got to do the job to take him away. A lot of times, and we don't talk about this, but guys can be selfish defensively as well, right? They don't want their guy to score. But I think it's a 5-man job with the right mentality of, what are we trying to take away? How are we going to do it? And then how do we go out and execute it?
We talked to Karras this morning, and we talked to you pregame about Karras. Was there more of a concerted effort tonight to get the ball in his hands in opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, in that role, I think you have to, right? If he's going to be coming off the bench, I think you have to find opportunities for him. And it wasn't just from us. Donovan and Darius both recognized it. And, we had conversations during the game, and they were calling plays to get him the ball. So that's something I think that, again, that's part of this group's nature. But understanding how impactful Karras can be for us and what he's capable of and, how he can make their jobs easier. But I think they did a great job of finding him. And then, his confidence was growing, and he was able to have a huge impact for us.
John Rutter, Sports Illustrated Media Group. Kind of piggybacking off of Danny's question with Evan kind of attempting some more threes here in the last couple of games. Prior to the season, he said that you're going to see me in different spots on the floor. Is that something that he's kind of working into his own game, or is that something that you guys are trying to encourage out of him as coaches?
We want Evan to take all the shots. There's not a spot on the floor where we don't feel comfortable with him with the ball in his hands and the shot that he can create and take. We don't want him to be put in a box and be, short dimensions on his game. Like, we want him to flourish because we believe that's what he's capable of. So, those different spots you'll see, those are conversations we have with him. That's time we spend with him, working with him. That's him putting in the time on his own and, wanting to be the player that we believe he's capable of being.
And then just the 3 defensive 3-second violations in the first half, is that unique, or is that just something maybe a product of paying attention to Embiid in the paint? We wanted to be aggressive to shade towards him. And, we could do a better job of cleansing and moving ourselves. But, tonight with a guy like that, you err on the side of taking away the paint. I thought we did a good job of it.
Last 2, Evan and then Chris.
Evan Damar, right down you. Well, JB, I've asked you about this several times, but you've said you've been waiting to see your guys play a complete game. Would you consider tonight a little bit of a step closer, at least, to playing more of a complete game?
Step closer. We still had our moments, but no, I thought they did. I thought they really did tonight. Play, both ends of the floor and execute what we were trying to do for the majority of the game. So I think this was, one of those games that we can look back on and reflect as that's the job that we're looking for in the game we're looking for.
And you had mentioned prior to the season that you don't want Isaac playing in a box offensively, not within the flow of the offense. Is tonight a good example of him just playing within the flow of things and just feeling a lot more comfortable wherever he's getting his shots at?
Yeah, and it's like, he can play at a speed and a force, right? And we got to do the job of getting him the ball early so that he can run, he can attack, he can cut, he can attack closeouts. And then when he's open, he's got to take his shots. And, we know what he's capable of. Again, it's a lot of trust in that locker room from his teammates. And, if you don't give him the opportunity and don't have the trust and belief, guys don't succeed. So we're trying our best to give him that because we know what he's capable of.
Last one, Chris.
Do you enjoy defensive 3-second violations as much as the players seem to?
There's incentive behind it, yeah.
Explain further.
No, it's one of those things where, you go back and you look at the history of time and the teams and how many, defensive 3 seconds teams get versus how many they take away, how many baskets they take away. So I've been for 2 years now, telling guys that we would like to see more of them. But, tonight we exaggerated and we got a few.
All right, gonna wrap it up.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good night.